Happy Saturday, Striver. I hope this morning you woke up just feeling that weekend vibe. Even if you have stuff to do today and catch up on and got to run around with the family to do things and get those errands and do that shopping, I hope today you enter it with a great attitude because you did wake up. You did have breath. You did have the blessing of being alive today. And every day you can stay close to that mortality motivation, that drive to be alive and enjoy this experience of life, to bring a good attitude to each day. I tell you what, those days, they compound. They stack up into an attitude and a mindset that leaves you feeling more buoyant, more positive over the long term. Even if on each day you have to remind yourself or do your gratitude journal here in Growth Day and just find that space to do your morning mindset maybe, or do a meditation or prayer, or take a long walk and look at the beauty of nature. Whatever you have to do to realize what a blessing it is that you're alive today, do that work, do that thinking process every day. It pays off. Hey, it's Saturday, so it's a great day to look back at this last week and maybe score yourself if you didn't do it yesterday. Hop into your life scores section of your Growth Day app and do your weekly review. See how you scored on your high performance habits. That's what you're measuring in that weekly review. It's the habits that have been correlated with long-term success, positive well-being, and relationships. I know you know that, but the more you score yourself, the more you get recommendations and the more you see your trend lines. So make sure you do that today. I'd like to talk about today a concept that I just find so valuable and rare in this world today, and that is social sharing and learning. Now, if you've ever been to any of my seminars in the past, 15 years, or in my high-end mastermind groups, we do the most, I would say, simple and elegant networking and sharing. What I tend to do is I get people in groups of 5, and I do this on Zoom as well with our mastermind. We get them in groups of 5, and I just give them 4 things to talk about. I give that group 20 to 30 minutes, depending on what we're trying to achieve, to talk about those 4 things in each person's share. And it's just always awesome. Now, I had a mastermind session as an example yesterday. My mastermind is people who I'm mentoring in their marketing as they're trying to build their personal brand or their online sales. They join a mastermind group. It's expensive, obviously, because it's just me and them. And we focus on helping them really build. But part of the magic is just the community. What I do is I ask them to share 4 things in 25 to 30 minutes often. Things like maybe, like it's New Year's now, so I'll just make it up. Like it's New Year's, so I'd have them share, what's some of the best results you got last year in your business and why did they happen? Or what are the big 3 goals you have this year? Or what's an upcoming launch that you have coming up that you like to share? Or what's something you need help with this month? And these are very basic questions, right? It could be, what's the greatest marketing lesson you learned from last year? It can be as simple as, what's the mission or the movement message you're trying to share with your audience? And they just share, and they talk, and they hone, and they improve, and they learn from one another. And I remember when I first started doing seminars, what would happen would be, I'd get everybody up and I'd just say, hey, meet some new people, groups of 3 and talk. And I'd give them 1 thing to talk about. But when I gave them 3 or 4 things to talk about, and I set a timer so that each person could go around, it changed the entire dynamic. I'd see dramatic transformations in people. And it wasn't just from what I was sharing on stage. It was from the interactions with others. Great friendships were born from those conversations. Support, healing, deep relationships, new peer groups, and believe it or not, a whole lot of relationships developed in other ways that I never imagined at my seminars, including a whole lot of seminar babies, it turns out. And so I share all this. Why? Because I think in this world we live in now, too many people are striving alone. They're not sharing with groups. They're in groups, they're in Facebook groups, they're in circle groups, they're in, neighborhood groups. And, they go, they show up, they look, they browse, they scroll, but they're not actually in conversation. They're not actually taking time to connect with 3 to 5 people in that group in one-off conversations in which all 4 or 5 of the people share something specific so that there's a theme to the conversation, outcomes to the conversation, and growth and connection from the conversation. Here in GrowthDay, we are working on a major effort that will be coming out late this year. I don't want to talk too much about it, but we're going to build the ability to have conversations in the app. And, outside of the community obviously is posts, and it's dynamic. You can post, images or video or things like that, but we want people to actually be able to talk by audio or video. And we've been working on a really stealth project for that. And the idea is it's through our conversations that we truly achieve higher levels of transformation and reflection, self-awareness, and growth. But I think this is something you can set up in your own life. We're going to make it easier in GrowthDay. So if you're a GrowthDay Pro member, you're going to be loving it. If you're not Pro, that'll be another reason to upgrade to Pro when we roll that sucker out. But I think it's important for you to say, maybe I should set that up in my own life. Now, I remember I'm a simple guy from Montana, and I remember there was this local breakfast place, kind of one of the places they call a silver spoon, kind of like a diner. And I would go in there once in a while and in the mornings, and there was always this table. It was about 7 older gentlemen and 2 of their wives, so it was a big table, right? And of people, it's like, on any given day, there might be 6 to 9 people there. They met there every weekday for 25 years, I found out. Now, obviously not every member of the group for all days for 25 years, but in general, some members of them have been forever. They met, they talked, they shared about life, but they did have these little mini agendas they'd talk about, and they created some structure to it. And I got to sit in a few of those sessions, and I don't remember laughing harder. I think it's important that if you're hearing this and you feel like the world is a lonely place, what you need to understand is the world's not a lonely place. What you need to understand is the concept of self-reliance and personal responsibility coming together for you to go architect the groups and the network and the peers so that the world isn't a lonely place. There's 7 billion people in this world. This world is not lonely by any means. We must teach ourselves to reach out and connect with others, to share with others what we're going through, what we're learning, what we think, feel, need, desire, and to have the guts and the patience and the empathy to ask them to do the same thing. I ask everybody who is in my life to make sure they have a peer group of people who they meet with regularly, who they set up a little agenda. It can be the same time, same meeting, same agenda every single time, but everyone gets to share. It's like passing the stick around the circle. Everyone gets to share. And there's a time. We all get to share. We're going to do it in 30 minutes. Let's go. We know that in organizations that leaders who hold those types of huddles tend to be more effective or liked. We know that we should be doing those things, but so often in our personal lives, we don't do it. I can't imagine my life if I didn't share what I'm going through and what I'm learning with my friends on a continual basis. And I don't mean like once a month, every 4 months. I mean weekly. And I know how easy to say, oh, Brendan, that's good for you. You have friends. I don't have friends. It's a lonely world. I'm like, well, then make sure you're in the Pro. Go to the Learn section. Go watch past events and sort to that entire month of training we did on friendships and how to develop deep, meaningful, fun, great, lifelong friendships. Because you heard 10 different coaches talk about it. Half of them were introverts, by the way. So for those of you who think that you can't make great friendships, the truth is you haven't learned to do it and you haven't pushed yourself to do it. The world is not a lonely place. And we grow by reaching out and sharing and learning from others. And the best part about it is, as we take that initiative, we give the gift of 2 more sets of ears for others. See, most people don't reach out to others because they think, well, I'm embarrassed to share, or I'm introverted, or I don't want to burden people. And the truth is, they're so blind to the fact that by them doing that to others and with others, it allows others to also share. And when you share with the intention that you're going to ensure the other person shares, now that's a conversation that becomes deeper and more meaningful. And over time, something magic happens. Make this year the year that you socially connect with other people. I know for so many people that was hard the last 2 years. This year, you choose it. You take the initiative. You take the attitude and the mindset that says, I am personally responsible for my network and my peer group. Even if I have to reach out to people on the internets, even if I have to create groups, even if I have to FaceTime or Skype or talk to people over Zoom, I'm going to create that structure. I'm going to talk to people on a consistent basis. I'm going to share my real thoughts, feelings, needs, desires, dreams, learnings, lessons, and gratitude. And I'm going to do that on a recurrent basis with some people. And that's going to create a network and a friendship circles that you will have for the rest of your life. It just takes a little effort up front. If you enjoyed this session of the Daily Fire, would you do me a favor today? Go share what's going on here with Growth Day. Maybe just go tweet or go post a message and grab a screen capture. Use hashtag Growth Day so we can see it. And just share with others. Hey, I'm on this Growth Day thing. Man, I listen to this guy every day, or I score myself every day, or I journal every day, or once a week, or 3 times a week. I get to watch these experts. Man, this is the place where personal development is happening. Help us share personal development with the world. My mission here, and my goal, my aim, my dream, is to make self-improvement a way of life for every person on the planet with a phone. And you can give the gift of Growth Day today. Just send them to growthday.com. It can be that simple. Just tell people about what we're doing here. Make them follow us on Instagram. Just get the message out. We're trying to bring world-class personal development to you. I feel like we're just getting warmed up and just getting started. But what makes it all special is that we're all doing it every single day right here together. This is social sharing. This is social learning. And you have the opportunity to hop in the community and share your insights, your ahas, your best habits, what you're learning. You have a place where that's normalized, where it's cool to share that, where it's okay to talk about the things we're trying to learn, grow from, heal from, build towards. A network worldwide of people who are striving to be their best, that's rare. It's right here in Growth Day because we all know it to be true. Every day is a great day to grow. And what a blessing we get to do it in Growth Day every day together.